These three tools, my friends, have been getting a huge amount of hype on the internet because they have such an amazing promise, the ability to build full apps with only AI prompts. But as the no-code AI guy, let me be the judge of that. So today I'm gonna be testing how great they really are by giving myself 60 minutes to build a full web app and ship it. Let's go. Now before this video, I gave myself a bit of time to learn these platforms, but what are we actually gonna build? Well, I just went in the comments section of one of my YouTube videos and someone was asking, is it possible to create a complete church app with donations, calendar events, etc. So that's what I've decided to build today. Now the first tool we're gonna use is gonna allow us to build beautiful UI UX designs, basically the front end of this application. And I've talked about this before on the channel. The name of this tool is V0. It's created by Vercel, and it's gonna allow you to simply use prompts to be able to build out these interfaces. So let the timer begin, let's jump in. So I'm gonna come to v0.dev here, and I'm gonna go ahead and type in just the simple instructions. Build a church app that includes donations and events. It's going to actually generate the code behind all these pages. It's also going to be showcasing the code as it's building it out right here. And in the preview, as you can see, it's starting to build out these pages. So here on the left-hand side, you'll see it's building out the church app, right? But you're gonna see all the different pages that it does. So I'm just letting it work here. Just with that one prompt, it's already creating all this pretty impressive stuff here. And then when it's finished, I'm gonna maybe say, okay, this is like the full church app. And you can already see that the donation, we can already put $10 here. There's something functional here. This is where we're really gonna start, right? So it's creating the elements here. Now, of course, this is not where we're gonna sort of stop. This is the real beginning. I'm gonna kind of start by saying, okay, great. Always be nice to your AI, by the way. Could you also include a homepage? So I'm gonna start structuring the homepage of this and all of the individual pages as well. Okay, so it's created this first version here. I'm gonna check it out. And of course, we're gonna start changing things. Our services, upcoming events that you can register for. And it's created all this with just one prompt. So now let's say, okay, I want it to be a little bit slicker, this design. So we're gonna let it cook here. And it's actually telling me everything that it's doing step by step. So it's creating a full width hero section with a background image that we can see right here. And we're just letting it cook, make all these improvements just by saying, make it look a little more slick. And now this looks a lot better. And we can already, okay, we're getting to a closer version of what we're looking for. Now we can have specific prompts, things like make the button on the hero section have slightly less rounded edges. And we see that it's now applied just that small change. And I can start doing that for everything basically. Now, when I'm satisfied with this first page, I'm gonna wanna test things out. For example, plan your visit. This is maybe not what I actually wanna have here. I might wanna have the donations button. All these are clickable buttons, but there isn't yet a page behind them. So then I'm gonna say, please create a page behind donations. Look, it's creating this page live. It has the donation amount, full name, email address, card information that we're gonna have to connect to a payment processor afterwards. And all of these fields actually work. So then I can choose which cause, let's say missions. I'm gonna donate $10. And then I could put in the card donation, make donation. So the goal here really, my point is that we are going to create each one of the pages and then we are gonna figure out the full navigation of this before we even go to the next tool. And now I'm gonna spend a little time just creating all these pages the way I want them to look. Spoiler alert, later in this challenge, I make an incredible discovery that's gonna completely blow your minds, so stick around. So that took about 15 minutes. I could have been here for 5 hours, frankly, because it's so exciting and fun to play around with this tool. But I need to move on to the next section because we have lots to do. But before that, I wanted to show you guys what I created as the base for this project. So I have three main pages, the home page, the events page, and the donations page. We have an image that I'll put in the background of this. So this is just a placeholder for the moment. We're gonna have an about section with an image here. Then we're gonna have the different services. These are kind of like featured services. Then we have the events. Then at the end, support, donate. So this is an events page when people click on the top to events. I decided to make the top a calendar where you can see all the events. If you click on any one of those events, it's gonna pop up. There's also featured events here with a little bit more description. And if you click on this, you'll also be able to see the details like we just did. And then we have a final page, which is the church donation page. Here, very simple, we're trying to get people to donate. So we're gonna have basically the general fund or a specific fund that people can choose from. Let's say we wanted to give away $100, Joe Handy. Card number 168, blah, blah, whatever it is. And when I donate, I created an extra little animation. Check it out. Boom, confetti, let's go. So all of this you can do. And of course you could spend days or hours planning your project here. But the next step is what's gonna be even more important in bringing this project to life. Let me explain. So now that we have the designs and the code behind them, it's time to jump into this next tool. Now, when this tool was released, my friends, it created as much havoc as you might see at Walmart on Black Friday. Now, the great news is that no one got in a fist fight over
The old way of doing business is over. It's gonna look completely different in 2025.
Are you ready? Listen, for years we were told that
Havoc, as you might see at Walmart on Black Friday. Now the great news is that no one got in a fist fight over a television set for this release. The name of this tool is Cursor. Now Cursor is a code editor, and the amazing thing about this code editor that leverages AI to actually manipulate code is that it has this thing that's called Composer. Now Composer, pretty much you can type in anything that you want and it's going to code it for you. And so now I'm gonna feed these designs inside of Cursor and we're gonna continue making magic. But before that, I need to set it up, and I'm hoping it's not gonna be too difficult. So let's jump in. Okay, so I'm now on Cursor's website. The first thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and download for free. Once you install it, it's gonna look something like this. Now the first thing you're gonna do is go ahead and open a folder. Go ahead, now you're going to create a new folder. Let's call this one Test Church App. We're gonna go ahead and open. And what it's gonna do here is that it's going to open up Test Church App. And as you can see, it's completely empty here on the left-hand side. Now up here at the top, you can open up these two different ones. One is a chat with AI. The other one is your actual terminal. And if you click on Command I, or you can also highlight anything and it'll pop up here, add to Composer. Basically, Composer is where you can adapt things with AI, so it's really cool. And then I'm gonna go inside of the other project that I had in V0. I'm gonna basically go ahead and click on Add to Codebase. I'm gonna go ahead and copy that. I'm gonna have to run this inside of Cursor. I will warn you right now, the setup is going to be a little bit tough, but once you do that, you're gonna be able to come in here and basically click here, and you're gonna go ahead and paste, and then you can run this command. So it's basically gonna go ahead and find all of this stuff, and it's going to add it to your app. The first thing it's gonna ask you is, do you want a new Next.js project? Yes. What is your app project name? Let's call it. Excellent. Creating a new Next.js project. This may take a few minutes. Something went wrong. Okay, now the cool thing here, for example, is that you could do this and then just add it to Composer. Ran into this problem. What should I do? And it's actually gonna start implementing some of these changes. As you see, we're already running into problems here, so let's go ahead and figure out what it is. The good thing is that it's giving me instructions, so let's just follow these. I'm glad I'm running into these problems because you surely will too, so let's keep going. Okay, so I followed the instructions here, and it seems like my app is now here. It's in the process of importing this app, and we did that by running these commands. So basically, you can run them inside the terminal. And now my app is starting to show up, so this is great. So I'm running into more problems than expected with setting up this entire thing. It seems like it's not finding specific packages. I'm gonna continue to ask the AI and we're gonna figure it out. Oh boy, that took a lot longer than I expected. I wasted about half an hour trying to figure out how to set this thing up properly, but I finally figured it out, and we're gonna be able to jump in the editor and basically keep on building. And because I don't wanna stop right now, I'm gonna reset the timer for you guys. So we are back on track, my friends. We can now go back and continue to copy and paste the pages inside of our project. And then we're gonna be able to start talking about how to actually deploy it. Back to business. Okay, so the issue is that I had an extra JSON package here and it wasn't able to read the other one. Started it all again, and now it actually works. So I pushed it to the development server. And now we can see here that we have it live. Let's just say that we want to replace the image. So what I'll do now is I'll actually find an image that I want to use. I'll probably grab one from Unsplash. Now I'm going to come to the home page here, and I'm going to find where that image is inside of this and just paste the new one. Now we have a nice little church in here. Now we need to add these additional pages. So to do that, I'm going to go back inside of Cursor. I'm going to click on app, and I'm going to create a new folder. So I'm going to create one that's going to be called events, and inside the events folder, I'm going to click on this. I'm going to create a page. We're going to call it page.tsx. So this is where I'm going to actually put this page. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to jump inside of V0. I'm going to go to the events page. I'm going to copy all of this. I'm going to paste it over there, and hopefully it works. So we see a bunch of red things here. That's pretty normal because there are some dependencies. So what I'll do is I'll actually go back inside of this, and here I'm gonna grab this, I'm gonna copy this thing, I'm gonna go back inside of here, and I'm going to click right here, and I'm gonna run this. And hopefully that will help us install the packages that we need, and the errors will go away. So I don't know what's happening here. I'm gonna delete this, and then I'm going to start a new terminal. Just gonna go ahead and run this. Now the point here is that you're gonna face some issues, you're gonna face some problems, it's gonna give you some errors, and you can actually ask Composer to fix some of those. Sometimes it's able to fix them, and sometimes you kind of gotta figure it out. Now I'm gonna go into the this, and I'm gonna create another page. This is gonna be, again, under app. We know that we wanna have a donations page, so I'm gonna create a folder. We're gonna create donations. Now I'm gonna go back. I'm going to do the same thing as I just did inside of V0. And then I'm gonna see there's the same issue that I usually have. Some things, it's like it doesn't work because there's these dependencies. So we're gonna go ahead, come back here, come to add coast. We're gonna, boom, click on that. Then I'm gonna come back inside of the app and I'm actually going to run this. As you can see, it's thinking and it's gonna ask me to overwrite yes. And then, boom, I get one-time gift, recurring donation, non-monetary gift. Now we can go to the about section. We actually didn't really create this, but I had it just scroll down and I can add now a nice little community image here. So if I went back to Unsplash, I'm gonna grab another image, this one right here. I can just ask, could you add this image? Go ahead and paste the image link to the About Us section. But this is your AI companion as you are actually building the Composer, and you have to kind of accept once these are applied. You can also reject them if you don't like what it's done, but in this case, for the most part, I trust it'll do simple things like this relatively easily. And boom, just like that, I have the image here, and as you can see, we can basically just continue to go through it, right? This is basically how you build out an entire app. I know that this took a little bit more than 60 minutes, but I just wanted to show you guys that it absolutely is possible. And so this editor is where you create the entire app, basically. So after you've implemented the designs, you create the functionalities behind everything, then you're going to connect it to the payment processor. There's gonna be all sorts of additional packages that we want to download for that. And then we're gonna be able to actually deploy. So the third tool here, my friends, is called Replit, and it actually is what allows you to deploy this application to the internet. But as I started looking to deploy this application, I actually realized that the Replit itself has this really interesting new feature, and it is called Replit Agents. Now to deploy my project, I would actually connect both, they would be synchronized, and then I would have to create all the authentication. However, let's jump into Replit and let me blow your mind. So once you log into Replit, as you're gonna see here, now they have on their homepage the Replit agent. So if I come down here, and this is usually just a deployment platform, but now you can actually create and build software inside of this too. So if I put the same prompt, okay, that little animation looks really nice. Go a little bit further down, very cool, okay. Now, the crazy thing about what we're seeing right now is as follows. Since this is the deployment platform, we would be able to very easily go from a fully built app like this to deploy just right here. You could just basically set up your deployment. You want to add these keys. These are all the secrets. So you need to attach it to your database and then you can basically just deploy. Now what it's doing here is probably the boringest and scariest part of building an app. And it is doing all the complicated stuff on the back end to be able to push it and deploy it live. Just like
your phone might have hidden viruses and spyware, watching and listening to your every move.